Tom and Lisa Carter knew the house was a steal. 3 stories of classic Victorian beauty, sitting on an acre of wooded land, sold to them at a fraction of what it was worth. "Too good to be true," Lisa had whispered as they signed the paperwork, but Tom had brushed off her hesitation. Deals like this didn't come often. They met the realtor, a thin, nervous woman named Mrs. Eldridge, on the day they moved in. She handed them the keys with a tight-lipped smile and said, "It's all yours, just one thing." Her voice lowered, almost hesitant. "The room at the end of the hall on the 2nd floor? Don't try to finish it." Lisa frowned. "What do you mean?" Mrs. Eldridge swallowed hard. "Just leave it alone." She left before they could ask anything else. The room at the end of the hall was exactly as Mrs. Eldridge had described, unfinished. Unlike the rest of the house, which was elegant and well-kept, this room was barren, its walls stripped down to wooden beams, its floor covered in dust and splinters. There were no light fixtures, just a single, narrow window that let in an anemic sliver of daylight. Lisa peered inside. Why wouldn't they finish it? It's perfect for a nursery. Tom shivered. The room was colder than the rest of the house. The air felt thick. He ignored the sensation, forcing a grin. "We'll fix it up. A coat of paint, some new flooring." Lisa wasn't listening. She was staring at the farthest wall, where something was scratched into the wood. 3 words: "Do not open." The first night was restless. At exactly 3:12 a.m., Lisa woke to the sound of scraping. It was faint at first, like a rat scuttling behind the walls. Then it became a slow, methodical scratch, scratch, scratch just outside their bedroom door. Tom groaned, rolling over. "It's an old house, babe. Probably just settling." Lisa didn't answer. She was staring at the hallway, the open door revealing the dark corridor beyond. The sound was coming from the unfinished room. By the next morning, Tom decided to put Mrs. Eldridge's warning out of his mind. He was a rational man, and rational men didn't fear unfinished rooms. He went to the hardware store and returned with tools, determined to begin renovations. He barely took a step into the room before his nose started bleeding. It wasn't a normal nosebleed. The blood poured out in thick, dark clots, running down his chin in a steady stream. Lisa gasped. "Tom, Jesus." He staggered back, out of the doorway, and just like that, it stopped. The room wanted to be unfinished. That night, Lisa woke up again at 3:12 a.m. The scratching was louder, closer. Then she heard whispers. It was a child's voice, soft and lilting, humming a lullaby she didn't recognize. She turned to wake Tom, but he was fast asleep. Lisa pulled the blankets up to her chin, her breath shallow. The humming grew louder. She squeezed her eyes shut, forcing herself not to look. But the moment she did, she realized the door to the unfinished room was open. The next morning, Lisa found footprints in the dust. They were small, a child's. They led from the unfinished room straight to their bedroom door. Lisa grabbed Tom's arm, her voice shaking. "We need to find out what happened here." They spent the day searching online, combing through town records. What they found made Lisa's stomach drop. The house had belonged to the Holloway family, a couple and their infant daughter, Evelyn. In 1952, the Holloways had been renovating one last room, preparing a nursery, when their baby went missing, vanished. No forced entry, no ransom note. The only thing left behind was a single unfinished room and footprints in the dust leading to the parents' bedroom. The Holloways moved away. The house sat empty for decades, changing owners, each one never lasting long. And then Tom and Lisa had bought it. That night at 3:12 a.m., the whispering returned. But this time there was something else. A smell, rotten milk, old blankets, a sickly, decaying sweetness. Then the crib appeared. It was impossible, but there it was in the center of the room, a crib, rocking back and forth, back and forth. The wooden bars were splintered, the mattress yellowed with time, and inside was a baby. A shriveled, black-eyed baby, its mouth open wide in a silent scream. Lisa choked on her own breath. The baby turned its head too fast, its bones creaking, and locked eyes with her. Lisa screamed. The house didn't want renovations. It wanted Evelyn back. Lisa and Tom packed their bags that night, leaving everything behind. They never went back, never spoke about it again. But sometimes in the deepest hours of the night, Lisa still wakes up at 3:12 a.m. and she hears it, the soft creak of a rocking crib, and a child's voice whispering, "Mommy?"